Today's recipe was inspired by this cookbook by Joanna Gaines. I was browsing through it and I was really intrigued by this Brussels sprout salad. She mixes Brussels sprouts with blueberries and a homemade dressing. I followed it pretty close, but I did make some tweaks of my own that you will see. And she recommended to serve it up with her grilled raspberry chipotle pork tenderloin. So this is that recipe, and I got inspiration from it and sort of did my own thing that was a little bit similar. So here's what I did. I wanted to make a chipotle sauce of my own, so I got a saucepan warm with a little bit of oil, some onion and garlic, sauteed that for a little bit, then added in some tomato paste for a nice background flavor, then some apple cider vinegar to give it that little tang that a barbecue sauce really needs. Whisk that together. Then to that I added a little bit of ketchup, some Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, a little bit of honey for some sweetness. This is a local honey, really good. Black pepper, then chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. I just threw in a couple of the whole peppers. And then I used some frozen, these were pretty thawed, but it was about a third, I would say, of the bag of the dark cherries. So my sauce is a cherry chipotle sauce, whereas hers was a raspberry chipotle sauce. I let this simmer on the stovetop for about 10 minutes. Once that had cooked down, I transferred it to a blender and whipped it right up. Then I transferred it to its own mason jar and labeled it. So this is what I'm going to marinate my pork in. She used a pork tenderloin. I'm just using some thin pork chops. I seasoned them with salt, pepper, and garlic powder on both sides, and then I transferred them to a Ziploc bag that was big enough to hold them with a bunch of that barbecue sauce in it. Now, I marinated these for about 6 hours, and my plan is to cook them in the Sous Vide. You'll see that later. But for now, they're going in the fridge. All right, later on, I'm making the Brussels sprout salad that I saw. So I peeled off these outer leaves of the Brussels sprouts, and then I just really, really, really finely slice them. You can do this on a mandolin, but I had just sharpened my knife, so I felt confident I could get them pretty thin just with my knife. You want them really thin because we're not cooking the Brussels sprouts, we're eating them raw in this recipe. But look, it looks like a Brussels sprout confetti. It's really similar to coleslaw when you make a coleslaw with cabbage, right? They're just kind of like mini cabbages. So there's the base, and then to that you add your blueberries. I'd never had blueberries and Brussels sprouts together, but not only does it look beautiful, but they taste really good together. And then I added in some cashews. I get these cashews from my bulk section at Winco. It's the best deal. Mix that all together. There's kind of like the base of this salad, and while that was just mixed up sitting there, I decided to go ahead and put my pork in the sous vide. I believe my sous vide was set at 140. The nice thing about this is you can just let it go. I believe I cooked these for about 2 hours. They never overcook. All right, I'm going to make the dressing for that Brussels sprout salad now with some grapeseed oil, and then I was about to pour in some vinegar, and then I thought, will it emulsify better if I put some honey in first? We'll see. You saw my thought process there. So I'm whisking in some honey into the vinegar, adding in some sesame seeds, some pepper, and now I'm going to add the vinegar. Once that's all mixed together really nicely, then you dress your salad. You want to do this at least an hour before you're going to eat so that it has time for the flavors to marry and come together. You just mix this all together and then you cover it and put it in your fridge until you're ready to eat. Yeah, here's my sous vide set to 140, and I had clipped my bag to the side there so that I would stay put. And it's like the simplest cooking method ever. Now I wanted to have another side dish for this, so I decided to make some Hasselback carrots. I've made Hasselback potatoes and butternut squash before, but I wanted to try this with some carrots, so I put some chopsticks on either side of the carrot so I didn't cut all the way through, but as you'll be able to see, I did accidentally cut through on a couple of places, but whatever, it's the idea. So you slice through, you put some oil on them, you season them with whatever seasonings you like, and you throw them in the oven. I did 375 for 20 minutes, and they're just a nice little side dish to have with basically anything. Now, when the pork was done, we took it out and we got out our kitchen torch and we really seared on that barbecue sauce so it became almost like a crust instead of just a glaze. And it was really nice, a really nice textural element. But of course, you don't have to do this part. It's just fun. And here's the final plate. You have the pork chop with the cherry chipotle sauce, the carrot with a little fresh Parmesan on it when it came out of the oven, and then our blueberry Brussels sprout salad. We served this up with a little extra barbecue sauce at the table, and it was amazing. I think the star was actually the Brussels sprout salad. I am surprised, but it was. I'm definitely going to make it again. The texture was great. The flavor was amazing. It was so fresh and lovely. I really recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I will see you soon. Bye.